Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Sebastian Fondura, Terence Bud Crawford. Get this. Sebastian Fondura wants to prove that he's number one by fighting Terence Crawford. Okay. And he said, I'd love to fight Terence Crawford. He has the WBA. I want to be undisputed like my sister, Gabriela. And that means I'd have to go through him as well. I've seen him here in Hamburg. I've met him. I met him in New York before. He fought Spence. We took a picture. He's a good guy. A talented fighter, of course, but business is business. When I met him in Canastota, New York, we talked about fighting, but business is one thing. Talking is another. So we'll see what happens. It's about that interest before he moves up to middleweight, although the 6'5" towering Inferno insists that he is no hurry to do so. He said, I still make the weight comfortably. He said, I do not want to make a statement in the division. I do want to make a statement in the division. And I want to be known as the 154-pound champ in the division. I might have the most belts out of everybody, but I still feel I have to prove a little bit more to be known as the guy at 154. But after that, I think I'll move up to 160. Those are the words of Sebastian Fondura. And let me counterpunch. Listen, I like the attitude of Sebastian. He doesn't have the mindset of most of those guys there. You know, some of those guys, if they're the PBC brand, they should be on a milk carton. And you should be like, hey, they're missing. Simply based, look at Jermell Charlo. We haven't seen him since the Canelo fight. Errol Spence, we haven't really heard from him since the Terence Crawford defeat. Who else is really there? We've seen Lara a couple times. But other than that, most of those guys at 154, you know, they're kind of, where the hell are they type? You know, you don't really know where they are. You know, you're looking for them. And Fondura is in that stable, but he's also the hungriest guy there. You know, he sticks out amongst the other fighters in and from that stable. Okay, that being said, would I fancy a fight with him and Terence Crawford? Of course I would. Because, see, at that point, a guy like Fondura that's coming forward and making a fight happen, being that tall, throwing that many punches, will force Terence Crawford to get angry because he will be getting punched by the taller and longer guy, which will cause him to get mad and get pissed off and then set up traps to try to knock out Fondura. Okay, and that would be a fight that I want to see. I think that fight should happen. Why? Because maybe Terence Crawford may be in the right direction because Fondura does have the belts that he took off Tim Tszyu. Okay, and because Tim Tszyu had that bad accident in that fight, but it cost him and his team to lose that fight just due to too much blood in his face. But these guys, that was the bloodiest fight that I remember seeing. Okay, those guys were throwing bows, but Fondura had, you know, the upper hand because he knew that Tim Tszyu couldn't fight him like he wanted to because he had too much blood in his eye. They should have stopped that a long time ago. And then since then, Tim Tszyu has been upset by another fighter by a KO, you know, altogether with little better BF. That's what I call him, right? But nonetheless, Fondura wants to show how good he is. That's the way to do it. Fight Crawford. Fight the pound for pound number one or number two, or number three best fighter in the world. Fight him. And that's exactly what he wants to do. See, a lot of these fighters talk about something, but they never do it. I think Fondura is really about it. So let's see if that fight can be made because Errol Spence has fell off again. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what he's doing. We don't know if he's going to fight next year. I don't know anything about Errol Spence. Errol Spence, you know, doesn't know what he's going to do yet. So I think Terence Crawford, to keep him busy, if he's going to stick around, he needs to fight Fondura because Fondura is a guy that wants to fight everyone. And that's something that you should be proud of. But you guys tell me what you think of Fondura. calling out Terence Crawford, wanting the Terence Crawford fight for the WBA. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.